even without the knee, that should have been a knockdown. I thought I should have won a competitive fight. I think I did what I needed to do necessary to make the rounds. I'm just a little frustrated with the scorecards. I thought I should have won.
Did Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me.
I believe I did what I had to do to advance in competition, but I'm a little annoyed with the scorecards because I felt I should have won even without the knee that should have been a knockout. Did I do Gervonta? Yes, in my opinion, if Davis had taken a knee. That's why I don't want to box anymore. I want to do therapy, but I feel like doing therapy would dramatically extinguish the fire that I have inside of me. Should he have been docked a point and ultimately lost that fight to Roach? After the supposed declaration of their eagerly awaited rematch, Lamont Roach unexpectedly showed up at Gervonta. The change at Davis's training facility has shocked the boxing world and added a new chapter to the intense rivalry that started with their contentious draw. A strong jab from Roach caused Davis to take a knee in the crucial 9th round of their previous match, which was marked by controversy.
What was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in the, I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need, what is it called? Yeah, man. I didn't know what round it was. Facts.
Tank, Eric Blum from DailyMail.com. First off, your coach just said, can you confirm, did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah.
Technical difficulties precluded an instant replay review, and the referee decided not to rule it. Many spectators and commentators questioned the result of a knockdown, and both fighters are now calling for a definitive rematch. A fight that promises to settle the score once and for all has been set up. What was going through your head when you heard the decision? No one likes a draw, from a guy who gets knockouts and stuff like that. But it's cool. I feel like I could have done more if we fight again, but I was lost in the rounds. So I lost track, which is why we need to know what the round was known as. From DailyMail.com, Eric Blum, first of all, after the rematch was supposedly confirmed. Your coach asked if you could confirm that you had your hair done 2 days prior to the fight. Witnesses say that by arriving at Davis's gym wearing his training attire and projecting confidence, Lamont Roach made a daring statement. Witnesses reported a tense atmosphere as Roach entered the building where Davis was engaged in his workout routine and appeared to have one clear message for him. Although Davis seems temporarily caught aback by the unexpected interruption, the fight isn't finished and he prepared to settle the score in the ring. The brief but intense conversation highlighted the rivalry's intensity and the stakes involved on a personal level. With images and videos capturing the unadulterated passion of the moment, the incident swiftly went viral on social media. Both fans and commentators applauded Roach's boldness, seeing his gym attendance as a premeditated attempt to irritate Davis before the rematch. Numerous prominent voices in the boxing community have commented on the development, and some analysts see the gym confrontation as an extension of the fierce competitive spirit both fighters share. The online chatter has only increased the buzz surrounding the upcoming fight, with many predicting that this public display of bravado could serve as a psychological edge for Roach. Others think it's a calculated attempt to divert Davis's attention during his training sessions, but this unannounced gym visit heightens the already intense rivalry. As regulating organizations like the WBA continue to keep an eye on the situation.
Did Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face, that's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business.
The rematch promises to be a battle of wills, with both fighters keen to establish who actually deserves the belt, going beyond simply settling past scores. With the rematch imminent, all eyes will be on the ring as Davis and Roach get ready to resolve the controversy once and for all. This public showdown has only strengthened the idea that nothing will stand in the way of these two warriors' quest for supremacy. The upcoming fight is already being hailed as one of the most anticipated events in the lightweight division, where every punch thrown and every moment of psychological warfare could make all the difference. Canelo Alvarez has also offered his thoughts on this fight this week. I'm talking about the rules, but it's none of my business. In your opinion, did Gervonta Davis take a knee and should have been docked a point? He lost that fight to Roach in the end. In my opinion, yes, if it was a draw, he took a knee and the corner went up and he put a towel in his face. Prior to the fight, Davis seemed to be considering an early retirement at the age of 30, but he has since stated that he plans to fight 4 more times, with one of those bouts ideally being a rematch against Roach and without the customary long breaks that have characterized his career in recent years. Davis also mentioned the end of May as a possible date on social media. In 2023, Davis showed that he could manage a fast turnaround by taking on 2 fights in a short period of time. He first stopped Hector Luis Garcia on January 7th. Then he returned to the ring a little over 3 months later to stop Ryan Garcia on April 22nd. Victory. The controversy surrounding Davis versus Roach focused on a crucial moment in the 9th round when referee Steve Willis decided not to declare Davis's voluntary knee a knockdown, going beyond the typical arguments that accompany a draw. Calls have been made for the fight to be reevaluated, with some even calling for it to be overturned in favor of Roach, though that is unlikely. This isn't just because Davis is the bigger draw. Even if the knockdown had been officially recognized, there would have been no way to know how the fight or even the rest of that round would have gone. The New York State Athletic Commission is blaming its failure to review the replay on a technical issue, even though replay reviews are allowed in the state. After being knocked down, fighters frequently change their tactics, so giving it a 10-8 round for Roach, a score judges weren't required to get in the first place, sets a dangerous precedent. This case is not an exception to the rule that sports commissions are wary about changing findings after fact. The draw call will probably stand despite its unpopularity, and there is some rational justification for this. As well, the rematch is now highly sought after far more than the original fight ever was, and that first bout still drew solid numbers at the gate in Brooklyn Tank. Versus Roach 2 feels inevitable, almost a necessity. If it doesn't happen, it won't just fuel the usual ducking debates around Davis, it will leave an undeniable void in his legacy. This was a fight we witnessed, one that demands a second chapter. However, it may be challenging for premier boxing champions to quickly allocate that kind of budget for another event by late May. While fans fully expect a rematch to happen this year, a 3-month turnaround seems improbable. In an exclusive interview with Boxing Scene on Thursday, Roach expressed confidence that Davis will exercise the rematch clause in their contract. At the same time, he trusts the New York State Athletic Commission to deliver a fair ruling on the controversial event of the 9th round at Barclays Center. Roach said, "I hope a rematch happens sooner rather than later. Everybody's still talking about the fight, and it's 5 days later. It's been a huge spectacle, a topic of discussion and review by the commission, and the fight with this build-up. Why not strike while the iron's hot? I'm already contractually tied to a rematch. If they call me, I'll be ready." Regarding the commission ruling, a person with knowledge of the matter informed Boxing Scene on Thursday that a decision is expected soon, most likely by the beginning of next week. Roach said, "I think it definitely plays in our favor that there hasn't been a ruling yet. There's something to consider and think about when it comes to the outcome. If they had a decision, they'd be point blank, we're going to move on." Referee Steve Willis could have docked Davis points, or worse, for taking a knee, turning his back on Roach, and reaching into the ring with his trainer. Instead, Willis chose to exercise his discretion by allowing the bout to continue without penalizing Davis, who also avoided repercussions from an instant replay review due to Prime Video pay-per-view. Producers failing to provide the footage to the commission's ringside official in time for a proper review before the start of the 10th round sentiment is growing in the boxing world that the New York Commission is inclined to declare the bout a no contest. This ruling would recognize that Davis was denied the opportunity to engage in combat, which is typical, with final scores of 114,114, 114,114, and 115,113. The 3-division champion from Baltimore was able to escape with draw thanks to 2 judges' crucial decision to score the round 10-9 in favor of Davis, which he might have done if he had known that he was behind 108 points in the 9th. According to Roach, justice will be acting morally, whether they count the knockdown that should have been a knockdown or whether they consider the fact that he turned his back and got help from a coach outside the ring, which is unprecedented and does not result in disqualification. If they overturn it, that is the right thing to do. If not, that just adds fuel to the fire. It wasn't just a bad night for Davis, he said. Roach said, "I'm not buying that at all. He did some good things in there, and Tank would have beaten a lot of guys that night. It was enough. He felt good, knew what he was up against, and tried to punch harder. That was the real Tank in there. The next time, it better be a better Tank, because I'm going to be a better me." Roach said that the rematch would be an extension of the fight from Saturday In one verbal exchange during the fight, Davis said to Roach, "I thought you hit way harder than this, Roach." Roach replied, "Who are you to talk? You had a 90% knockout ratio, and I'm standing right here jawing at you. Come on, bro. You hit me a couple times, and I was right here." Roach maintains that he was unquestionably completely affected by Davis's strongest blows. The pivotal moment of the evening, according to Roach, was when I took his best shot and decided it was time to get down in dirt. Davis responded that he would not lose the fight, but Roach claimed it was because he realized he was in this with a guy who might beat him tonight. By the end of the day, he realized, "Look, dude, I'm the guy, I'm the star, you don't knock me out, you ain't gonna get it." In the end, he said, "I'm the star, you don't knock me out, you ain't gonna get it." He is likely aware that he is the one who brings him money in this competitive fight, but I believe I did enough to win it. Roach stated that it appears that foul play at all points to the obvious, and the obvious would be that all those factors contribute to the fight being scored a draw when it should have been played in my favor, whether it's the points, a disqualification, or the knockdown. Roach did not want to characterize the incidents against him as pure corruption. Ake's Prime Video was unable to obtain a replay of the 9th round knockdown in time to present to the commission's replay official. The fact that I was competing against a superstar, who was by far the most well-liked attraction in America, made me feel as though I didn't have a fair shake. According to Roach, he put that to the star's profile. Versus a massive underdog, it's not unrealistic for individuals to gravitate toward things they would deem unusual, in my opinion. Steve Willis started to count, and he was acting appropriately when I told him to stop. But if he doesn't have an explanation, then we can assume that there is corruption. Roach said, "I'm not too harsh. I know people make mistakes, whether that was intentional or not, we'll never know unless he confesses." I don't hope his job is on the line, but I hope he knows that he played a part in something that could have been very huge, not just me, but the boxing. If this is upheld as a draw because a knockdown wasn't scored, then his credibility is at risk. On Sunday, WBA President Gilberto Mendoza told the Ring that he will be pushing for a rematch between Lamont Roach and John Davis.